Xbox One platform, and I'm showing you Zane's assault rifle build, and we're going to be using both Digiclone and SNTL, which you can have both equipped. It just takes away your grenade, but you do drop grenades throughout. Here's a quick look at the build. There is the Digiclone tree, the SNTL tree, and the barrier tree. For weapons, I am primarily going to have Rowan's Call that I'll give to my Digiclone, and then I'll be using Molten the Dictator myself with the anointing of 130% bonus damage after swapping places with the Digiclone. I'm going to use the Salvager Recharger, which will give me a 20% action skill cooldown rate at the end of my action skill, which helps, and it also recharges rather fast. I have a Rowdy Cheap Shot Seeing Dead mod, which is essential to this build. This mod's very good. And the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. Then I have a Stormfront with an anointing on it that gives 25% more damage for 6 seconds when the grenade is thrown, and periodically the grenades will drop from my action skills, and that bonus will be applied. So there's that, and here we are on Mayhem 4, True Vault Hunter mode. The buff here is 20% corrosive damage, and then the enemies have greater area of effect. So I'm not going to be using corrosive, so it'll be a good display of this build.
You got a job to do.
Send that out. And I gave him the wrong weapon, which isn't a big deal. As you can see, it's starting to tear up. And first damage sequence is done. And she's going to kind of do her thing to kneel down a little quicker this time. And we both have Rowan's Call at this point. Is to try to get both action skills at the same time to get more damage. Second action skill become my soon, switch to my Rowan's Call. And another damage sequence down. Now she might dance around, do her thing. Oh, she's going to kneel down right away. So, in case I get up top, still down like that. And I fell off. That was great. Wow, that was delayed. Nice looking work for me. Wasted a little time, but it's not a big deal. Now when you are fighting a boss like Tyreen like this and there's ads around your Digiclone, facing your ads usually when you switch, so you'll have to turn to find your enemy that you want to shoot at. And as you see, the grenades have dropped. It's quasar grenades, so you'll see the electricity coming.
ya!
Oh yeah? Why?
Oh, no, 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 no. Come on, there. That almost didn't work. I don't understand.
I won't say I didn't warn ya!
And again, that's the damage sequence of both these guys going. And the last damage sequence. So she's gonna throw a bunch at me or not. Oh, she's not. She already went through her thing. Sometimes she will, sometimes it's long drawn out with her, and she'll just keep doing flying around over and over again. This time it's kinda went a little easy on me. There we go. Quick look at the loot. And place at the butcher. Not what it used to be. And it's just nothing, you know, no shotguns really compare anymore to the Lob. Which... Anyway, so let's do a quick look. I mean, a more in-depth look. At the build here. So on the weapon side, as you can see, I was using Rowan's Call, and this just has an anointing to reload the weapon when you swap with your digiclone, which sometimes is alright when you have enemies that are really susceptible to radiation. But in this case, I was just giving it to having it equipped for my digiclone, and then I was switching to the Molten Dictator that had the anointing on it for the digiclone swap with 130% extra damage at the end. And I was using a Salvager Recharger, mainly for the action skill and anointing for 20% cooldown rate on my action skill at the end of my action skill. And I have a Seeing Dead mod. This is a Rowdy Cheap Shot Seeing Dead one. But the Seeing Dead mods I found are the best mods for Zane, at least with the Digiclone SNTL build. I haven't really played around with the barrier yet. And this one has dull weapon accuracy, 35% assault rifle damage, and 11% Jacob's weapon damage. So it's mainly for the assault rifle damage, and the Jacob's weapon damage helps as well when I was given the Rowan's Call to my Digiclone. And the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. This is what really helps out. It helps stack damage when you continually hit a target. You get this from Claptrap just before the last mission of the DLC, last main mission of the DLC Guns, Love, and Tentacles. This particular one comes with 50% magazine size and 12% fire rate. That magazine size helps out quite a bit. And I just have a Stormfront, but more for the anointing on it, and when you throw it, you got weapon grenade action skill damage that's increased by 25% for 6 seconds. And I believe the Stormfront I got from Grave Ward. Of course, this came from Claptrap and Guns, Love, and Tentacles. The Seeing Dead mod is part of the Handsome Jackpot DLC. It drops pretty much anywhere. It has a chance to drop within that DLC, but I found farming Timothy or Scrap Trap Prime are the best locations. Salvager Recharger, got it from Grave Ward. The majority of these weapons I got from Grave Ward, and these can all drop from Grave Ward, although Rowan's Call has a greater chance with Tyreen and Troy. along with the King's and Queen's Call weapons. So, okay, on to the skill build. So here's the SNTL tree. SNTL is basically automated drone. Goes out, you can have machine guns, or you can augment them with these augments, on the side that can change the behavior. But in this instance with SNTL, I just have static field. It emits a shock beam to nearby enemies, draining their shields and replenishing Zanes. That's really important. You want to keep your shield up, because on another tree, there's perks for that, extra damage perks for having. The more full your shield is, the more damage you'll do with those other perks. And this is SNTL. It just it gives a buff of movement speed and fire rate when he shoots at a beam. Okay, so violent speed. After killing an enemy, Zane gains movement speed. So I only put 4 in here, and really out of a necessity to work down the tree, but also 4 is a good amount. Too many in this, and you move too fast, and it's really a little too slippery and a little harder to be accurate, I think. So moving too quick is a little detrimental. Although with this perk on this side, the violent momentum, you gain greater gun damage at higher speed. So at default walk speed is 20%. And so the quicker you move, the more damage you do, but you got to balance it out with how quick you move and how well you can aim while moving really fast. So it does you no good if you're missing a lot, even though you have potential to do a lot of damage. If you're missing, it's not working out. So just keep that in mind with the perks that make you move faster. Sometimes you might move a little quicker than you're comfortable with. So for me, this is about as much as I want. And the cool hand, it just gives reload speed after a kill, or reload speed in general, and then more after a kill. And really, I put 3 in here to work down. Reload speed isn't something that I'm a real stickler about, but it is nice to have. And in this case, I'm just trying to work down. Got to work down this the tiers of the tree. It's 5 points per tier, to get down at least to this one and put a point in each of these areas that get extra points from the mod that I have equipped. So I got the reload speed, and then here, drone delivery. Occasionally SNTL will drop a free grenade, and that grenade goes according to your grenade mod. So when it drops that grenade, you get that anointing that the grenade has as well. And the kill skill after killing enemies, Zane's weapons, Zeppins. Hey, you like that? Put them together there. Zane's weapons gain lifesteal for a few seconds. This is okay to have. I just put one here just to have a little bit of it, and also to work down this tree. And all of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect and duration. Now this is the main perk I was working towards. Just to have that bonus 25% and extra 7 seconds on that, especially with this mod, that whenever you kill an enemy, you have a chance to activate an action skill. Or is it whenever you shoot? I'm sorry about that. Whenever you damage an enemy. Yeah, that's much better. Whenever you damage an enemy, you have a chance to automatically activate all of his action skills and have 25% bonus effect. And this gives a 25% bonus as well. So it's quite nice to have. And I just work down to these guys just because there's points in them. It's nice to have increased fire rate, which this one gives after a kill. And it's nice, to have shots with extra damage. But these all go by chances, and I wanted to stick more with consistent damage. But I did work down to these to at least put a point in each of them so that those points on the class mod aren't going to waste. Now over to the Digiclone tree. This is the only tree that I go all the way down, and I'll explain it because Zane gets an exact copy, or his Digiclone will get an exact copy of whatever weapon you have equipped at the time, which in this case was Rowan's Call, which is very nice for him to have and do that radiation damage while I had a fire weapon. And both of them working together worked out quite well. So, okay, Digiclone and the augmentations I have here. Schadenfreude. I think that's pronounced right. I don't know. They make up words in this franchise quite a bit. Whenever the clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored by a portion of that damage. Again, an augmentation that helps my shield. And we'll get to that on the last tree that I show you. I'll show you why I have my augmentations helping my shield. And this one, enemies are more likely to target the clone for a few seconds after him. It's summing and switching, which keeps your shield up as well because it keeps enemies off you. Okay, so now to the perks. And this is synchronicity. And whenever one or more of Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased gun damage. So with 2 of his action skills active, it's, plus 40% gun damage. It's pretty darn good. And we'll go over here. Increased magazine size. Again, I'm trying to work all the way down to the tree. You don't necessarily need to have this, but it's really nice to have. So there's some pick and choose going along the way, but there's certain perks you want to absolutely have. And some that are pretty much pick according to preference. And here we go, borrowed time. Action skill durations. Really good to have. I don't have it up all the way. Partly because some of the weapons I use have action skill ending anointings on them too, but still, yeah, it's just it's pick and choose. Again, it's nice to have a longer duration, but the duration's long enough as it is. And to have an anointing that increases your action skill cooldown rate helps as well. So I have 3 in that area, 1 down here, and fractual frags, which the digiclone will throw a copy of Zane's current grenade mod when it's first activated. And if the digiclone's killed, it's going to drop another grenade as well. And again, it goes according to your grenade mod. So in this instance, that good anointing is going to happen as well. Donnybrook. Okay, kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, he and his digiclone receive increased gun damage. So, and health regeneration. And at this time, it's 30% gun damage. With 7 in this tree, you get 2 from the class mod, and 5.3 of missing health. This is a really good one. Absolutely necessary. And whenever Zane swaps with his digiclone, he gets a portion of his shield immediately recharged and restores health to his clone. So that's good. So this is another thing that helps that shield. And then the clone gets health, so he can get damaged some more. And again, help your shield. And it's just all about keeping that shield up with this build as much as you can. It's going to go down. It's going to go down no matter what you do, especially on Mayhem 4. Okay, old you. Again, when you're in Fight for Life, this is something that helps out. You don't have a pet with Zane or, with anything that helps you get up except for this. So I have this equipped in case the digiclone's out there and I go down. I can just hit LB or RB. It'll bring me back up with 100% health. Okay, here's another kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains grenade regeneration for a few seconds. It stacks twice. It's really good to have, especially when all these grenades are dropping left and right. You run out of grenades, they're not going to drop grenades unless it's a free grenade. I think most of them do say free grenades, don't they? Oh, no, that's a copy. Okay, SNTL drops a free grenade. So that one won't count against how many grenades you have, but this one will. So grenade regeneration is good. And get down here. Like a ghost, it's just a chance to ignore bullets and additional, and it's increased with your action skill. When you have an action skill equipped, I only have 2 in this area. Again, I'm trying to work down to that bottom one. And I want to get this one too. Whenever Zane summons this digiclone, it consumes up to 3 grenades. For every grenade consumed, it does some good stuff. It increases the digiclone's gun damage, max health, fire rate, reload speed, and digiclone duration. So that duration is the real important part too. So I can keep swapping with him and keep getting the anointing going with the weapon for extra 130% damage each time I swap. And it's just 1 point. So point well spent. And then on down to this all-important double barrel. Some builds will exclude this. Some builds won't even cap out on any of them. This one, I think, is real important to cap out, especially when you're going to be giving, if you get some really nice weapons, it'd be nice for your clone to have that weapon. But all that weapon has. It's 100% duping. So if it has an anointing on it, the anointing's going to happen too. In this case, it was just Rowan's call to lay down a lot of his radiation damage. And then I followed up with the Vladoff weapon with fire that had that great anointing on it. That has the great anointing on it. Okay, and over to the last final tree, which is the barrier tree. I'm only working halfway down this tree. The real thing that I'm trying to get to is right here. Confident competence. And this is what I was talking about with those shields. When the shields are active, he gains increased gun damage and accuracy. This bonus is based on the amount of shields he has. So it's self-explanatory. It says it right there. I'm sure you can read. Anyway, that's why all the augmentations that help the shield and the perk that helps the shield and everything just to help your shield. You want to make sure you have those perks, especially if you choose this one. But I would say, yes, choose this one. Work down to this one. There's also some good stuff along the way that will help your shield up here. Maximum shield capacity right here, 30%. When you have all three equipped. Action skill cooldown rate, which is nice, up to 35%. So, and that's based on the amount of shield you have. So the higher the shield, the higher the cooldown rate. And over here, shield recharge rate and shield recharge delay. I only have 3 in this. Again, it's pick and choose, but that's what I needed to equip to get up to that point. And then I had an extra point, I think. What do I have? 11, 12 there. Yeah, I didn't really necessarily need to apply all the points I did here, so I got 1 extra point in this area. So you could take a point and put it somewhere else on those trees, and still have. So you can have 2 here, or 2 there, and 3 here, or so on and so forth. You only need 10 to get down to that point to spend 10, and I spent 11. Anyway, there you have it. There's that in-depth explanation there. And then again, the weapons, I was given Rowan's call to my digiclone, then switching weapons afterwards. So when I swapped with my digiclone, I had 130% extra damage with the Molten Dictator here. And then I just had a shield with an action skill ending cooldown rate increase. And then the Stormfront grenade, mainly, it is a good grenade, but mainly because of the anointing on it for extra weapon grenade and action skill damage once it's thrown, and when it's dropped from my action skill, when I use my action skill, it's activated. So it's very nice. And the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, if you haven't done the Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC, it is worth it, not just for the new weapons they put in there. It's worth it just for this one artifact. And I will not kid you on that. This artifact is one of the best they ever put out. I have a lot of good artifacts that buff like damage and give me elemental damage and extra health when I kill an enemy. But nothing really compares to this one if you're going against a big boss. Now, if you're going against adds, this might not be as effective. But against big bosses, yes, it's very effective. It's essential. And again, we're on Mayhem 4. And another aspect I want to show you real quick is, well, I did not turn off my Guardian rank. So I had all these Guardian rewards. So that did help me out quite a bit. It would have took a little bit longer. But even without this, it's still quite doable. I probably should have turned this off for the demonstration, but anyway, so keep that in mind. I did have all that working for me, but there's none of those stats on there are, quite above 12%. I guess I still got some good stats going there. And, and you got these bonuses down here. That one's one of the reasons why I keep it on, to keep that grenade going. Generated grenade every 10 kills. But, and I didn't even get 10 kills, so that was a moot point. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you tear it up in the Borderlands, and you have a great day. I hope this was useful for you.